I got my phone on cinematic because it's a cinematic situation. It's not looking too good, man. I just seen her eat a little bit because I don't like seeing these long ass lives, but I seen a little bit of Eazy's live, and he tried to throw a nuclear bomb in Mickey Factz' window. I'm gonna give y'all a disclaimer on here so y'all can understand. This is the blogging shit. I chose to uphold the integrity of a blogger and not be biased and keep it 100 across the board. That's what we're gonna do, no matter who it is, even including myself. So now, Eazy done threw a rocket through Mickey Factz' window. I guess the freestyle challenge was a setup, just to say if he's gonna get crazy, or he had something he was holding on to unleash upon the battle rap world. So I'm guessing since Mickey Factz turned down that challenge, he said, I'm gonna let it go anyway. He said it's a one-time blog, it's a one-time I speak about Mickey Factz, and I ain't gonna speak about it ever again. Now, what is he talking about? He's basically talking about something that happened probably like a couple of years ago. I'm on my Panda Chop shit. Salute to my boy Panda Chop. Roll the clip.
You had a freestyle on another radio show in which you said that you used to write for Remy Martin.
Yeah.
Remy Ma.
Remy Ma.
Y'all went to high school together?
Yes, we went to high school together.
So that's the truth?
Yes. We did go to high school together.
Do you keep in contact with her?
Let me tell you, I haven't spoken to Remy Martin since she signed her deal.
Wow.
So, I mean, you know, Remy was a feisty girl. Still is a feisty girl, you know what I'm saying? And I remember Remy back in school, very shy, but she would tear your head off if you had an attitude with her. I used to pull her out of class, like, yo, let's go to the lunchroom, let's rhyme. You know what I'm saying? We used to write raps together. I used to help her write her rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you guys heard, I didn't write any of that. That was nothing that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? But we went to the same school, like, and that was my homie. Like, I loved Remy.
That was Stevenson, right?
That was Stevenson High School. Yep, I was the one who brought her out. Like, that was me. You know what I'm saying? And when she got signed to Pun, this is when Blaze magazine was out. I don't know if y'all know about Blaze magazine.
Yeah, I know about that.
It came out around the same time XXL did. And she got an interview in Blaze, and she was like, yeah, I was the best in the school, and I used to kill everybody. I used to battle. She only had like 2 battles in that school. And one of the battles, she got burned alive. It wasn't about me. I never battled Remy, but, you know. One love to Remy. Hold your head, baby girl. She probably going to try to kill me when she get out, but it's all love.
Now, I want y'all to understand this, because I don't think the story's ever been kind of told about how Remy actually got on. Alright? Pun got his deal. Pretty much put the whole not Terror Squad, full of clips on and shit like that. Except for my man Toom the Sick One. That had nothing to do with Pun. It was a Toom and Fat Joe. But that's another story for another time. So pretty much Pun, Sace, Cuban, got on with him and shit like that, because those was Pun's best friends. I knew them niggas too. So he was pretty much looking for new artists. Lo and behold, he picked up a guy by the name of Sunkiss. If you don't know who Sunkiss is, look it up. Yes, it's spelled the same way, Sunkiss. Well, Sunkiss. You know what I'm saying? Probably throw a picture in there somewhere and shit so you can understand where I'm coming from and shit. You think, you know what I'm saying? If you don't think I don't know these niggas and shit, I know these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I knew Sunkiss way before I knew Pun. Long time ago, where he was running with my cousin Tila Rock and them and shit like that, and my other cousin Tony Tone and whatnot. We was damn near, we was kids, we was teenagers and shit, acting a fool out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that know Deshaun E. Thunder, that was his name before Sunkiss. Deshaun was a wild nigga. I mean, wild nigga. You could look that boy up. You could Google him. He be tripping out here. You know what I'm saying? I thought I'd be tripping. He be tripping. But yeah. So back to the story. Sunkiss was at Pun's house one day. You know what I'm saying? Just said, fuck it, I'm gonna take a, walk around the block and all that, and see what's out here and shit, go get something to eat or whatever and shit. Now, if you're from the Bronx, you know Beach Avenue. You know what I'm saying? That's on the other side. That's like on the uptown side, you know what I'm saying, where Parkchester and 6 train and shit, you know what I'm saying? Where you got Theriot, shout out to the riot, those are my peoples, Theriot, you know what I'm saying? You got Beach, you got Taylor, you got Commonwealth, St. Lawrence, I forgot the other one. But anyway, Pun lived a block away from me. I used to live in Beach. You know what I'm saying? Lo and behold, Remy's mother lived in Beach. Salute to her. The irony of it, all this shit, not coincidence, I don't even, but Rem's mother used to live 2 houses or 2 buildings away from where I used to live at. Which is crazy. Never knew that. She told me that shit. So, she ran into Sunkiss anyways. She spit some bars for Sunkiss, and Sunkiss said, yo, let me take you to my man Pun. And shit, shout out to Sunkiss for that, you know what I'm saying? So, Sunkiss takes Remy to Pun, and the rest is history. I guess she was spitting bars, knowing Pun, he was sitting his big ass on a fucking couch or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? For those who think I'm lying, if you've ever been in Pun's house, he had the big screen TV with the 4-screen split of a security camera. You could see everything outside the house and shit like that. The nigga, he's bugged. I always used to argue with this nigga, yo, Pun, what the fuck are you doing here? Go get your ass a house. No, kid, you know what I'm saying? I know what's going on in the hood, you know what I'm saying? I trust the hood more than I trust being out there. All right, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, the rest is history. That's how Remy got her break fucking with Pun. You know what's crazy? Because me and her had a conversation. She only knew Pun for 7 months. In my head, I was thinking she knew that nigga for years or been around her, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never really seen her around, you know what I'm saying, as far as the guys, when niggas, we used to go out and do shit or whatever. But she said she only knew Pun for 7 months. For some reason in my head, that clicked and said, it all makes sense. And I said, I knew Pun for years and whatnot. She didn't know Pun that long. By the time, you know what I'm saying, 7 months was up, he passed away. God rest the dead. So, yeah, man. I never correlated Mickey Factz with Rem and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Although I wasn't around with Stevenson and stuff like that. I was always an older cat. Me and Pun was damn near around the same age and shit. We was just, this shit is just crazy. But anyway, that's how Rem got her start and shit. It's through Sunkiss, brought her to Pun. She rapped for Pun. Pun took her from there and whatnot. And then, unfortunately, Pun passed away, and then Joe took over from there and shit like that. A lot of bullshit in between, but that's a story for another time, you know what I'm saying? And I dare anybody tell me that's not what happened. That's what the fuck happened. Ain't no other person that could, Sunkiss should really get his credit, because ain't no other person that can claim that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Pun put her on, but if Sunkiss would never ran into her on Beach Ave and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it was on Beach. It was Beach Ave as far as like where her mom lived and shit. And that's where she used to be at. You know what I'm saying? Then this would have never happened for her. Shit, you would have never got a Remy Ma and whatnot. But yeah, man. Yeah. And who's to say that Rem is not lying? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying she a liar, but everybody fucking tends to lie. Tell a white lie or don't tell the truth or admit some shit. There's no fucking human being on the planet that could say, yo, I've never told a lie one day in my life. Not one. Depends on the circumstances and the situation, right? So, it could be some in-between details. But for Rem to say, I've never seen this nigga a day in my life in high school and shit like that is crazy. That means to say he made up this whole shit. Which, it was sad. It would be sad to know that shit. I'll be like, what the fuck is this nigga Mick doing? If Mickey was lying about that, then why would he lie about something like that? I don't know. Was he clout chasing? Was he, just, holding a grudge against Rem? Who knows? I don't know. That's for Mickey to answer. But that looks bad. And Eazy gave us that piece of information that we, a lot of us already knew. But sometimes when you unleash old information and stuff like that, it gets to the masses, it has a new color of paint on it and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because Mickey was looking good. He's up. He's up. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the 7-day plague and all that, you know what I'm saying? He just basically kicks A-Verb ass and exposed him for having a ghostwriter and all that shit. And pretty much this is what happens. This is what he dropped. And I ain't gonna lie, man, he added to the Danger Zone shit. You know, pretty much saying that A-Verb had a ghostwriter in his Danger Zone, and, you know, he pretty much exposed Danger Zone for ghostwriting for Verb, you know what I'm saying? Which I didn't agree with that either. I'm not going to sit here and lie, cap for no fucking body. I didn't agree with Mickey doing that, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was wrong. But here we are, you know? Listen, man, I don't know what to make of this shit. Only thing I can say is, Mickey, fight back. Like, where you at? Can you defend your name? Because this man, the block captain, is pissing on your name. I don't even know how we fucking got here, but we're here because he's supposed to be focusing on Jay Mills, but he's pissing on Mickey Factz' name. You feel me? And I'm not, well, do Mickey got to clear it up? He don't have to if he don't want to. Nobody, you know, but I would sure try to make, you know, sense out of this situation so the fans or whoever is a fan of Mickey and stuff like that can understand why he said these things or and whatnot. You know, because from what Eazy is saying, that Rem never knew him from a hole in the wall. They was never classmates. So, you know, that just says that Mickey had this whole imaginary situation in his mind about Remy Ma and shit like that. Now, maybe because it was Remy that he was clout chasing, you know what I'm saying? Remy's from the Bronx, he's from the Hill, you know, Castle Hill and shit, you know, Mickey's around from the same place and whatnot. So, you know, it's a name association, okay? But it's bad when, you know, a person of Rem's stature says, yeah, I don't know him, or he's lying and stuff like that, because, you know, we got to keep it 100, my nigga. Had the shoe been on the other foot, we'd have been giving it, not giving Paul, you know what I'm saying? We'd have been getting at you. You know what I'm saying? That's career ending to say anything about writing for a female. And, you know, in the clip, you see, he said, you know, anything that came out, I didn't write that, but, you know, I wrote for it. It said she got slayed, and she only had 2 battles in her school career. She got slayed in one of them and shit. It was crazy work. Like, that's pretty much, like, slandering and shit, because I don't even know why you had to say that shit. You my guy. I'm not going to sit here and hold you. But, you know, if you case you try to get crazy, like, not crazy, but feel a way about this blog that I'm doing, you got to remember, too, man. When Goods was putting shit out there, as far as his songs, you was critiquing that shit from top to bottom, left and right. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this is not a song, but it's a topic, it's a situation, it's newsworthy or whatever. But, you know, and you know, you told Goods not to take it a certain way. I don't know if you're going to feel a way about this behind the closed doors and might not talk to me ever again, which would be stupid to do that. But I got to say what it is, man. It is what it is. And also, let's keep it 100. 2 things could be right. You know, 2 things could be right. You know, Mickey probably fucked up with that situation and lied, you know what I'm saying, through that interview or whatever. And also, Eazy is still, you know what I'm saying, was lying about the situation with Pap and all that shit. He lied about a lot of fucking things and whatnot. So, you know, if you want to keep it 100, Eazy, you the worst liar out of the 2. You know, like, you pretty much try to bamboozle the world, the battle rap world and shit, and you want to be lifted up and praised as being one of those guys and shit. How can we? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't get that part either.
You don't have to be a rapper. That's anybody would have did something like that. It would have been corny. It would have been like, yo, what type time are you on? So when you start attacking people, that's why I learned about karma a few years ago, because I did some corny shit, and karma was kicking my ass, man. But when you know about karma is like, you can't be attacking people and you got the same shit on.
So don't think since you quote unquote exposed Mickey for something that a lot of people already knew, that Mickey is like, it's over for Mickey. Oh, get him the fuck out of here. Yeah, he's done. He's cooked. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not happening. Like, Mickey Factz fans don't give 2 fucks about that piece of news. They really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, you know, as you know, when it comes to women's MC and women's music or whatever, you know, women in hip hop, you know, they tend not to care about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They talk about women getting their bars written for every day, baby. It is what it is. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Eazy fighting back. I give him that though. You can't tell him how to fight back. He's fighting back, whether it be through music or through a blog and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that man to, you know, tuck his tail and then run and shit like that. Although Eazy, I wouldn't do that. You getting that Mickey Factz, man. Give me something, man. Getting that papoose, man. That's the person who you're really supposed to get at. I'm not trying to be funny or trying to detour or what you call it, because you see I'm talking about Mickey and shit. What's up with Pat? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it like, but I'm saying, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do all this, you got to do that too. You know what I'm saying? You can't try to deflect and act like, you know what I'm saying, that shit ain't happened with you and Pat. You know what I'm saying? That was real. That wasn't a lie. Okay, you ain't getting knocked out, but you folded like a taco, and you had a shine on your face that you try to put makeup on so you could address the battle rap community and whatnot, and you was embarrassed for a couple of good weeks and shit like that. So it is what it is, man. You gotta keep your name clean as far as like when you dealing with people and shit like that or whatever, man. I remember when I first met Rem or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't at the Drake shit, because, you know, roll the Drake shit. Let me see that for a second.
Yeah, you about to say, you know what I mean? I was very respectful. Yeah.
So just the person I need to talk to.
Yeah, what's up, Remy? Yeah, that is the person you need to talk to. Like, what's up?
You already know my info. What's up?
Yeah, the Drake shit, that wasn't the first time I met her, but all I know that she was like, you know, Caffeine or Beasley or whoever was reaching out to her to come through these battle rap events and stuff like that. And that's where she had the idea to start doing a women's battle league and all that, you know what I'm saying? And that's where it went all crazy from there. But, yeah, I've spoken to Rem a lot of fucking times. FaceTime, telephone, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much we kicked it, you know. I told her, you know, the people I know who I fuck with, who I was in the streets and shit like that. She probably didn't believe me. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You lying. You know what I'm saying? That's my Remy voice. You fucking lying. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, ask Joe. This is Fat Joe, by the way. I said, ask Joe. Joe will tell you exactly who the fuck I am and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then she called the next day. I'll call her. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? The call was made. And then I said, he said, yo, you talked to your boy? He said, yeah, I talked to that nigga. He said, yeah. He said, you official. I wasn't lying. You know what I'm saying? I did things. Joe had his crew. I had my crew. We did things out here and shit like that. You know, some official shit, some wild out shit or whatever and shit. To this very day, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Pun. That was my man. Like I would say, yeah, before the raps. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably wouldn't believe that until y'all seen Cuban Link verify that, yeah, nigga, you knew Pun like I knew Pun and shit. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? You my brother. Like, yo, remember when me, you, Pearl, Pun, Toon, and everybody, we battled these niggas in Harlem and shit, in 2/5?
I remember. We was in the middle of the street by the pole in the street, and we was there after the Victoria thing, Victoria 5 concert.
Victoria 5, yep.
Yeah, we was right there in the huddle and shit. Me, Pun, it was you and everything, and some niggas came and Pun battled them, and they were going crazy.
No, it wasn't just Pun by himself, motherfucker.
No, I said
it was all of us.
We was all together, but then some niggas came.
I'm gonna tell you the part. When we were all battling, Pun was the last one. And when
but then went crazy right after he battled. He took his shirt off. Started hanging from the pole.
And then he took his shirt off and was kept going and shit. I was like, yeah.
He took his shirt over the middle of the street like this. Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I've been stomping in the 90s to the 2000s and shit like that. In the 80s too. I'm old as shit. But yeah, man. Yeah. That's just not good, man. That's, you know, I don't know if it's a chink in Mickey's arm. I don't know, but it's not a story that he probably wanted to be told and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he probably would have thought Rem would have got at him and shit like that. You know, he even said, yo, you know what I'm saying? I know she's a wild, what you call it, and shit like that. then, you know, she was wild for the night. You should have never said no shit, because, you know, one day she would get out and address you on that. What's one thing I will tell you, man? Rem will address you, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, she's not scared to do that. She will address you if she feels something, it has her name in it and stuff like that. That's one thing I do love about her and shit like that. You know, I love the fact that she thinks she's so tough and whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? Mick, man, I gotta call it like I see it, because I saw it and I'm calling it. You get mad, that's on you, because this is a cinematic situation. Don't let these motherfuckers be. If you, Mick, I'm not gonna hold you. If you fuck around and disappear and act like, because you was all on the phone with all these celebrities and record execs and shit trying to push, you know what I'm saying? What has been said, and you disappear and be quiet and shit, I don't know, man. You gonna look defeated. Clean this shit up. I'm not saying clear it, but clean it. Do something. Clean this shit. It stink. Ew. Pew. Yuck. Clear this shit up. Clean it up. But yeah, that's it, man. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You know, Eazy fighting back. He's fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Eazy, if you're really gonna fight back, man, one fire beat, one fire location. It's good mix, good mastering, and drop some fireballs. And please do not scream. Don't do that. Use a lower tone register. Please don't scream. You sound crazy when your voice is cracking to the highest of fucking degree. With that said, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's the big homie, act like you know me. Man, it's the dirty section for real. I don't want no parts of these niggas. They hit low blow, boop, low blows and shit out here, man. This shit like Democrats and Republicans and shit. This shit like Bloods and Crips. You know what I'm saying? One side that hate the other side, and the other side, like, these motherfuckers are going for what they know. They feel away. Narratives is being spun like Spider-Man. But that's it, man. I'll go about my business. I'm about my motherfucking business. How about that? Like, yeah. One.